Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on our Education Vision Council training for our upcoming grant process. So I will just go right in. So let me share my screen. Okay, we'll get to that in a second, but let me do this. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So we will just kind of jump right on in. Okay, so who you'll be working with throughout this process, you'll be working with me. My name is Katie Wise. I'm the Director of Community Impact here at United Way of Horry County. And I am kind of over the grant process and over the Vision Council volunteers. And so if you have any questions about the grant, if you have any questions about what it means to be on a Vision Council, any questions throughout the process, this is my contact information, but I will be in touch and I'm always available for anything that you all need. But first things first, I really just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has signed up to be on an Education Vision Council, or even just your interest in being on a council. We really couldn't do what we do without you all. So we really just appreciate you taking time to help us throughout this process. So this is our agenda, and so we'll kind of just jump right into everything. So who we are at United Way. So since 1973, United Way of Horry County has served the community. We're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, which is really exciting. We are led by a volunteer board of directors who live and work in this community. Our vision statement is we envision an equitable community where opportunity is not limited and every member reaches their full potential. And we achieve our vision by uniting people, ideas, and resources to advance the common good in Horry County. So essentially, we do this grant process. This is one of the biggest things that we do, but we also have some internal programs and initiatives as well that we focus on. And so these are our 2024 grant focus areas. You can find kind of more detail about these areas in our community game plan, which I will send out to everybody. I know you are focused on the education piece here, but I did want to let you all know kind of like what else we're doing and all that kind of good stuff. So in health, we are really focused on mental and behavioral health. And so we want to decrease the number of suicide ideations and attempts and decrease the number of drug-related overdose deaths. And education, which is where you all fit in. We want to increase the number of children who meet developmental milestones and enter kindergarten ready. And we want to increase access to equitable learning opportunities and high quality childcare for children and youth. For self-sufficiency, we want to increase the number of Horry County residents meeting self-sufficiency standards. And for basic needs, we really just envision a future where everyone has access to food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, basic materials, transportation, and a sense of security. So education, this is where you all really fit in. So there are two bold goals in education. So I'll kind of dive into the first one. So our first bold community goal is we want to increase the number of children who meet developmental milestones and enter kindergarten ready. And we also envision a community where all children enter kindergarten ready and ready to learn. So our program level goal, kind of the programs we're looking to fund, is we seek to support and improve access to resources focusing on the physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and language development for children from birth to 5, while also increasing the participation from their families and caregivers in their child's learning. And so we have 4 strategies, but I'm really just going to focus on the funding piece because that's where you all come in as our Vision Council volunteers, is determining what we're going to fund. So we want to fund programs that improve academic and developmental milestones for children from birth through age 5, and programs that increase involvement of families, caregivers, and the community in the success of children from birth through 5. And so these measurable objectives, and we'll kind of come back to this, but so our measurable objectives here are we want children to start kindergarten ready, developmentally on track, and we want to be able to measure parents, caregivers, and or guardians who will utilize services that support the family and the success of their children. So bold community goal number 2, we want to increase equitable learning opportunities and high quality childcare for children and youth. So this really kind of pertains to like all children, kind of 0 to high school. So in this particular bold goal, we'll be focusing more on like the elementary, middle, and high school age students. And also just the high quality childcare for the 0 to 5 as well. But this kind of this bold goal includes children of all ages. So for our vision, we envision a community where all children and youth learn, achieve, and succeed while engaging families and communities. And we seek to support and improve access to quality and equitable childcare, resources focusing on reading and language development, increased knowledge of math and science, and an interest in lifelong learning for children and youth. So we want to fund programs that improve access to equitable learning opportunities and childcare for children and youth, programs that reduce the summer learning loss and chronic absenteeism, programs that improve basic academic skills of children performing below grade level, and programs that offer diverse and flexible educational options for a variety of learners. So for the measurable objectives, we want to kind of look at working families can afford childcare and can pursue positive enrichment opportunities for themselves and their children, and children and youth will gain essential knowledge and skills. And so as far as the application goes, the application is very similar to last year, just kind of asking your normal application questions, but this is going to be the biggest change to our application this year. And so we are implementing the results-based accountability outcome measurement framework. And the RBA framework is asking these 3 questions down below. How much are we doing? How well are we doing it? And is anyone better off because of it? And so this year we are implementing shared performance measures. And what that means is agencies will select from like a catalog of already predetermined outcomes and performance measures. And we came up with these through our vision councils and our task force whenever we were originally kind of going through our transition and determining what needs to be measured to really attack our bold goals. Also, we had guidance from United Way Worldwide and other United Ways who are measuring kind of the similar bold goals in their communities and the shared measurements that they're doing. And we also allowed our grantee agencies, our current grantee agencies, to look over the indicators and the performance measures to see, do you all fit in here? Are you all able to measure these? And if not, maybe we should take that off. Maybe we should add some other things on here. And so we've gotten their input, but these are all things that we can kind of change and evolve over time. But this will be the first year that we are implementing this. And so this is an example of what it looks like. So this is our first measurable objective in education. So you can see here, how much did we do? How well did we do it? Is anyone better off because of it? There's already performance measures under each one. And so, like I just kind of explained like how we got to these, and so the agencies will then have to kind of choose which one they're going to measure. And so each agency is required to choose at least one of the measurable objectives under the pillar that they're applying for. So for example, for education, if they're applying under the education bold goals, they'll have to choose at least one of the 4 measurable objectives under education. They can choose more than one, but we're asking them just to align with one. And under each chosen measurable objective, the agencies must choose at least one performance measure under each question. And so one under how much did we do, one under how well did we do it, and one under is anyone better off because of it. And they are able to choose more, but we're just asking them to choose at least one. And in addition to the required measures, agencies are welcome to create an additional performance measure as well if they are measuring something that they would like to track, but it's not on the list. They're able to kind of create their own as well. And also please note that this is the first year that this is being implemented, and it's going to take a lot of kind of me really trying to help and work one-on-one with the agencies to determine what they can measure, maybe which one works best for them, all that kind of stuff. These can be modified and adjusted over time, and we welcome feedback to fine tune the shared measures from our agencies. So why do we use volunteer reviewers? We use volunteers to include a wide variety of perspectives and experiences that can inform the grant making process. And we want to make the grant process more inclusive, transparent, fair, and as free from influence and bias as possible. So all applications will be read and scored by 4 vision councils. So health, education, self-sufficiency, and basic needs. And so these councils are comprised of issue area experts, board members, community members, and also our donors. There will be a finance vision council where all they will be reviewing is the financial documentation. So the vision council volunteers will help. You all are really helping us determine how undesignated annual campaign donations will be distributed to local agencies. We are asking that all Vision Council members donate really at any level to United Way or County if you aren't already. This really allows you to have skin in the game and have a say in where your dollars are being invested. So what's in it for you to be a volunteer reviewer? You learn about the grant making process, you gain a better understanding of us and also the innovative programs and best practices across Horry County, and you have a voice in the process. So overall expectations, we ask you that you keep the applications and scores confidential. This is not public information until the grants are awarded. We ask that you review the application and score each one using the scorecard that we have created. And you'll be assigned all of the applications. Sorry, that's supposed to say education. You'll be assigned all of the applications under the education pillar to review. So this is a little bit different than last year, where we kind of had like certain volunteers kind of reading certain applications, but to really kind of come back together as a whole group to make a determination on the funding amounts for each of the agencies in the education pillar. It's important that all of the volunteers have at least read the application. So we also ask that you report any conflict of interest to United Way of Horry County and do not score the proposals in which you have a conflict. And so if you serve on any boards, if you volunteer at any organization, if you are a family member, someone you know has received services at any of the agencies that are applying, or if you're just affiliated with them in any way, you will not be able to kind of review those applications. And so we need you all to let us know kind of if you have any conflict of interest with any of the agencies. So about the application, May 22nd is when they open. And they're for 1-year grants from January to December next year. June 2nd, all agencies will need to request access to the full application by that point. They have to fill out like a small kind of eligibility form. And June 30th, applications close at midnight. So what we'll be looking for, we'll be looking for alignment with at least one bold community goal outlined in the game plan and alignment with at least one measurable objective. We want to see, have they identified the need for their program and kind of what the need is in the community, how they involve their volunteers, their fiscal strength, their scale and scope of the program, and capacity infrastructure for long-term sustainability. And so kind of the first step in all of this is we ask that you read the community game plan and mainly the education pillar to become really familiar with our goals and strategies on how we want to tackle this issue. Also, the funding eligibility requirements, we ask that you review those. We ask that you really read and understand the scorecard. We ask that you set enough time aside to review each of your applications thoroughly. This is not a quick process. And so it's important that you really kind of allot the appropriate amount of time to review all of the applications. So July through the 7th, after the applications close, I will be assigning you all to the applications that you'll be reviewing under under the education pillar. We ask that you do an initial read of each application first, but don't score them the first time you read them. Really use that initial review of the application to get a general sense of what they're proposing and where to find details important for scoring. And of course, I'll be available for any questions, any clarifications, anything like that throughout the process. Step 2 is kind of rereading each proposal and then begin scoring, and use the questions on the scorecard to guide you. Make sure you'll have the opportunity to kind of write down any strengths, weaknesses to support your scores, and any notes or questions you have. There will be some comment boxes on the evaluation. And proposals should make a strong case showing a compelling need and to show that the proposed activities will effectively address the need that they're talking about. And also that will affect the bold goal that we're trying to achieve. Everyone scores differently, and that's okay. Just make sure to be consistent with your scoring. Only score an application based on the information provided and don't assume anything. Score applications against the scorecard, not against other applications. Make sure your scoring is primarily based on the quality of responses, not just having an answer in that box. And so towards the end of July and the beginning of August, we will get together as an Education Vision Council to have like our initial review of the application, of the applications that you reviewed. So come to those meetings ready to discuss the applications, have all scoring complete. The group will discuss the strengths, weaknesses, and scoring of each application. And then that's when we'll have the opportunity to ask questions to the applicant agencies and their in-person site visit. And so then in August, we will schedule a time to conduct one-on-one 1 hour site visits with the applicant agencies. So we will actually go to the agency and see what they're doing, see the facility that they're providing services at. You will see the investment dollars hard at work. And the volunteers, you all will get to ask your questions about the application and learn more about the agency and their program. Volunteers will have a chance to go back and rescore the application if needed. And then in September, we will meet with our allocations chair in meetings to make the final funding recommendations to then be brought to our board of directors meeting in September, where they will have the final okay that yes, that this is the amount that we're approving for the agencies. So final tips: for every grant process, there is not enough funding to fund all requests. There's always more than one review group scoring different applications. And it's important that you all very carefully score the proposals, because we rely on you all as the reviewers to recommend funding for the programs with the strongest chances of being successful. And so we use EC Impact, and that's the grant system that we use for our agencies and for you all as the volunteers. So I just kind of want to show you what that looks like. And so whenever you log into EC Impact, you will see kind of this is your homepage, and you'll see the evaluations that you are assigned to. And so you can click here to get started. And I will have all the instructions on here for what you need to do and the documents that you will need to look at. And so if you go here, so you can see the programs that you'll be assigned will be down here, and you can evaluate them. You can print the application. And so you can see, I'm going to close that for a second. You can go down here on the side and you can really see the, the application. You can look at everything here. And then over here is the evaluation. And so I highly recommend, and so then you would go on here and kind of do all your scoring and all of that in here. And so then you can save my work if you're not done, or save your work and mark it as complete whenever you are finished. I highly recommend printing the application first to really kind of read it, kind of make any notes on it, and then come back in here and evaluate it. And you can go to the jump to and go to any section that you need to go to. And then you can trying to go back so that you can go back here to my assigned evaluations to get back to your home page. And over here in the resource center, you can see, I'll have, our funding eligibility, our game plan, the PDFs, the scorecards, the trainings that the agencies had to go through if you're interested in kind of seeing those, and also the training, on for education for this training, and the PowerPoints and all that for that. And so if you have any questions about EC Impact or about just the process in general, I am more than happy to answer any of your questions. I'm always here for you all. If you need, I will kind of send all the instructions on how to log in EC Impact, how to create your account, and all that kind of good stuff. And so I appreciate you all, again, signing up to be a part of our Education Vision Council. And we are really excited to be working with you this summer. So please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any more questions. Thanks so much and have a great day.